Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Truuu Talk podcast. This is episode 16, and tonight we were talking about fashion, how mental health issues in a parent can impact their children, and comfortability levels in relationship and friendship. Now, as always, we are joined by the Truuu Talk First Lady, Miss Chidi Bang Bang. A man who needs no introduction, Mr. Truuu Talk himself, Mr. Ashley. Our very own banter queen, Miss Milan. Our favourite lady from the small island, Miss Cher. And of course, myself, DJ Sticky Fingers. So as I said, we're talking about fashion, mental health issues in a parent, and comfortability levels in relationships and friendships.
I definitely agree with Cher. Like, fashion's definitely getting better, you know, but there's still that line. Like, so I think it's Boohoo or Pretty Little Thing, or like all of them could do it, but I only follow a handful of them on Instagram. And it's like they now have like a slim girl and a plus size model wearing the same like outfits to show that you can wear the same thing. But the issue I have is the plus size model, I don't want to sound rude, but she's not, she's plus size because she's bigger than the girl who's like slim. But when you see an average plus size person on the street, you know, they're plus everywhere. Do you know what I mean? They've got a belly. These like plus size models seem to have a flat belly. They're just curvy. And to me, that's not plus size. Like it could be. I don't know. I'm not like in the fashion world. Do you know what I mean? So curvy could mean plus size, but to me, it's not. And you're still defeating the object because you're trying to find. I don't know what word to use. Like a body that's appropriate for people to not be like, oh, well, her belly's tucked in her leggings and it's covered. Do you know what I mean? But that is what a plus size person is. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. I think they're defeating the object, but they're slowly getting there. But then it's like with kids stuff, like Chidi was saying, she's got to buy in the women's range for her, like her daughter. But even if you look at kids stuff that's for like a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, especially like in the girls, in the boys, it's just shorts, t-shirt, jeans, like a tracksuit. But girls, I think as well, it stems from the social media side of life as well. There's always like a mini me. So there'll be the mum's outfit, which will be a crop top and like a pair of cycling shorts. Then the daughter, like you can buy the exact same for your daughter. And I'm like, do you really want your 5-year-old like running around the park in a crop top and a pair of cycling shorts? Like, yeah, it looks nice and she looks cute, but should you be advertising that to your child at such a young age? Do you know what I mean? But then I suppose everyone's wearing it, so you just kind of blend in. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. Fashion's a weird one.
Ash, what's your take on this one?
I don't know, man. That sounds scary, man. Because it kind of seems like whatever fashion says, it's okay. And we're deeming it's like it's okay, innit? Especially if we're talking about for children. For me, I know that there has to be a limit to what you follow, you don't follow, just because it's fashion. To go, like in terms of like the like you said, crop top and cycling shorts and that. Like, I'm not gonna put that on my daughter. And you know what I'm saying? I don't care how hot it is. If a guy is somewhere, I'm not gonna put that on her. Do you know what I'm saying? If I know there's gonna be, I'm not gonna take her to a park wearing that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, we're not in a world where those kind of things are okay. Well, to me anyway, I don't think it's okay. But but because fashion says it's okay, people will just do it. Do you know what I'm saying? Which is a little bit scary, isn't it? Because, boy, it's just frightening for me, innit? Because you do see it. You do see, like, people having their kids walking around in the maddest stuff, you get me? Like, I understand it, but for me, I wouldn't allow my daughter to. You get me? You get me? Big things for big people. Big people can make decisions to do whatever they want when they're big. They can wear what they want. They can walk down the road wherever they want. That's cool, man. If you're a big and adult and you buy your own clothes and that, you get what I'm saying? If you buy your own clothes, do your thing, innit? But don't buy them kind of stuff for your youths, you get me? Because it's fashion. You get me? It's outrageous, I think. But obviously, in some things, I don't think fashion's a bad thing. I think it's good, innit? I think it's obviously it's good. But obviously, when we're talking about children, that's parents that's in control of whatever their kids are wearing, innit? So if you're a parent, don't just follow fashion because everyone else is doing it. Think if it's logical and if it looks right and if it makes sense before you do it. But if you're an adult and you like to spend hella money on designer clothes and stuff like that, make sense, do your thing. But one thing I did you lot made me think of is that a lot of fashion is influenced by things that are not fashion at the time. So like now, like you see like these shorts, for instance, yeah. You see like these shorts are all bandanaed and shit. Like the bandana thing is like a gang thing. You get me? Like, and it was like gangsters that was wearing these kind of clothes before. And now it's like become fashion because obviously hip hop culture is cool and all of that kind of stuff. So it's like things that are people's lifestyle become fashion. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think what people need to do, which a lot more people are doing now, is be the creators of it. You get what I'm saying? Because if our culture is going to drive the fashion industry, then it makes sense if we're at least on top of it, if we're doing it first. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've seen it a lot more now. Like, Bear Man are creating hats. Like the best thing I've seen, like the best fashion brand, not the best fashion brand, but one that I like the most right now because of how they've done it is Trapstar. I love how Trapstar done their thing. Like they came from nowhere. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't even know if they're black, to be honest, or if they're part of the culture or whatever, but they seem to be. Do you get me? That's how I've identified it. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like they just jumped on it first. Do you know what I'm saying? They know what's cool because it's what they've always done. Do you know what I'm saying? And they've made it like the front line of that kind of thing. Do you get me? Like that's trapwear. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if trap's gonna be a thing, let's do the trapwear quickly. Do you know what I'm saying? Like now, like if drill's gonna be a thing, man, they better get the drill wear out quickly. Like if that's popping, don't make them come and make that fashion before we do it while we got it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. That's the main thing what I think about when it comes to fashion because we drive it. So we got to make sure that we're doing it. You get me? And it's possible, because I know some people might not think that it's possible, but it is. You get me? Like I've got bare people that I know that are really doing this clothing line thing and they're making some sick stuff. You get me?
There's a lot in there. There's a lot in there what Ash was saying, actually. I also want to touch on something that I heard Chidi and Cher say in regards to not enough choice. And I was just a bit curious because, and the reason why I asked the question is because when go down the high street, ain't no one going to any high streets at the moment, right? When you go down the high street, for every one male shop, there's probably about 7 or 8 women shops. Like if you go into a shopping centre, you might find, I don't know, Next, I don't know, River Island, which again, unisex shops, and then where else? You might find another Burton, say. But other than that, there's no more men's shops, but there's like tons and tons of women's shops. Do you know what I mean? So I'm a bit surprised why you guys feel there's not enough choice when there's so many more options for you in comparison to men.
So I think when talking in regards to like choice, I think it's more like sizing issues. Because like with me, I'm one size on my hips, and then my waist is smaller, so it's hard. Like I cannot find a pair of jeans that fit me. And then like in regards to tops, I've got a big chest, but like do you get me? So if I actually buy the size that sticky, if I buy the size that covers my chest, it just looks big because. Just looks tempted because I have to size up. Do you get me? It's long. But like touching on what you said as well about in regards to choice, I do think and this is fact, it's a lot easier for women to buy clothing, and women can buy clothing at very, very cheap prices. I did this haul thing the other day with Ashley, and I was showing him, because I was talking about fashion as a topic, and I was showing him like different dresses I have, and I was making him guess the prices, and he was guessing mad prices. It's like some of them is like one dress he guessed like £45, and I paid like £4 for it. You get me? But the dress was banging. So I think with fashion, there is a lot of financial strain, especially on men, to buy clothing to keep up, and it's pressure in it, because you'll see a man like dripping from head to toe, but all these times he ain't got a car in it, which is not bad, but it's mad that all that money you're spending on your clothes, you could have gone on that driving lessons and bought a car. Do you know what I'm saying? So it is a little bit mad, how easy it is for women to find clothing and keep up with fashion, whereas for men it is very expensive.
So are you saying there's not enough options in terms of different body shapes and sizes? So it's almost like it's made for like one size fits all, but not everyone's like 5'5" and size 8. Yeah,
yeah, because it's like, like for me, I'm 5'3.5", but I'm wide in certain places. You get me? It's a madness to buy clothes. It's just a madness. So, and I have to always go for a certain style or type that will suit my body shape. And it's long. Like, it's really long. It's a terrible task. I don't like going clothes shopping. I hate clothes shopping. More time I'll just buy online anyway. Guaranteed I'll have to buy like 3 different sizes and send back. It's always the way. It's just long. It's long.
We said lots of ASOS deliveries, yeah?
Loads. And Boohoo. Boohoo's the one though. I don't care. Boohoo is the one, because I always find their clothes do fit really well, and they do cater for women of all sizes. Pretty Little Thing, they're just liars, like straight up and down liars. It's mad. The sizes like I have to buy on Pretty Little Thing are just crazy. They do not reflect, like they're not true sizes at all.
So Cher, back to you in terms of, I know you're in fashion and stuff. How's it, when Chidi was talking about clothes for kids, how does that come into play in the industry that you're in?
So what, in terms of the sizes and stuff? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
So I think with me, it's like I'm kind of small on the top and then big on the bottom. So it's like it's quite hard to find. It's quite hard to find things which actually fit, because I'm such a weird shape. So it's quite difficult. But yeah, I don't think it's difficult for us as women, but what Chidi was saying, the same, like it's just about the size, the shape. It's kind of more difficult than if you're like really skinny or something. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's a bit different.
So then maybe what Ash was saying in terms of creating our own, why don't we start creating our own to fit different body shapes and sizes and what have you? What are we waiting for?
True.
What's missing?
Very true. Yeah, very true.
Milan, do you have the same issues when you're buying clothes as well?
Yeah, I was gonna say, so on buying clothes for like me personally, I'm tall. I'm like 10 and a half or something. But my body's small, but my legs are extremely long. So buying jeans, I can't go to a regular shop. I've got to go to shops that sell a longer leg. And then it's like River Island did a tall section in store, but there was not a lot of tall people around. So then they took that section away, and then now it's only online. Topshop have a tall section. They've took it out of Topshop now, and it's now online. So I can't buy, like, and then it's like they think because you're tall that somehow you're tall and you're wide as well. So like I've got thick thighs, but they're not like thick. So when I buy jeans, I buy my size, but then they're just baggy, and I'm like, I don't want baggy jeans. And it will say it's a skinny fit, but it's not a skinny fit. It's just baggy. And I'm like, this is not the look I was going for, but okay, I have to deal with it. But then when you're talking about buying for different body shapes and body sizes, literally there are so many different body shapes, body sizes, heights, boob sizes, bum sizes, like thigh sizes, like waist sizes. You literally couldn't make an outfit to fit everyone. It's literally impossible. Do you know what I mean? So to be able to buy jeans for someone who's got a big bum but a small waist, there are some people who've got like huge bums and a small waist, and some people have got like a peachy bum and a small waist. Do you know what I mean? You're never gonna get the exact fit for like everyone. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, do we all become a fashion like designer, have like a sewing kit in the back, and we just like make our own clothes? Because realistically, no one's got time for that. Do you know what I mean? But then talking about like fashion between like ages as well, do you know what really scares me? When I get to like 80, because you see them little old ladies in the like tartan checkered trousers and the Marks and Spencer's shoes with the stockings that are skin coloured and they're down their ankles, and they've got their cardigan on, and I'm like, that's just not me. I can't, like, obviously when I get to the age, that might be perfect, comfortable, yeah, I can go anywhere in it, but looking at that fashion now for like the elderly people, I really don't see me in like those, I don't even know what they were called, they're just like slip-on shoes with stockings and tartan trousers and a cardigan with the buttons done up odd. Do you know what I mean? Like, somebody needs to help the old people, honestly.
We'll be wearing tracksuit and Jordans on it.
Hey!
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, that's our generation. Dude. I don't want to wear what I was wearing in my life. Let me get a tracksuit on. You get me? Go on.
I thought she was be wearing batty riders or something, boy. The 8-year-old with batty riders, and that's what I was thinking she was gonna be saying. I was thinking, bro, what's going on here?
In the summer, when it gets to 39 degrees like it was today, I will still be in batty riders and a little crops. Do you know what I'm saying?
What, at 80?
Yeah, why not?
You have grandkids by that time.
Crap in it, so I'll still be
have
looking
great
fly.
grandkids by that time.
That's a good point. Junior M. Baker says, big waist, no bum. Shut up, Karen. That's from Junior Baker.
Shut up, Milton. Shut up, Milton.
Disrespect. I don't know where that came from, fam. That was
that's my version, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying, man.
That hurt.
No, it's not for me. Definitely not.
Well, you never know. To be fair, right? Like Chili's 5'3", Milan's 5'10". Milan's taller than me. I'm only 5. That's what I'm saying. I'm like just a tiny bit taller than Chili. I'm like 5'4.5". You know what I mean?
Seriously?
Yeah.
You look way taller sitting down, bro.
No.
Yes, because I'm like the way I've angled the computer and all that. It's about angles, isn't it?
Six, you're not that short. You're like,
okay, I'm a little bit taller. I'm about 5'5". But I say that though, innit?
You must be like 5'8".
He's trying to surprise you. Oh, I expected you to be smaller.
So I'm saying, come like Lurch, innit? Like Lurch from Adam's Family. No. I'm just remember Lurch. You rang.
Yeah,
no?
you just. I think you were really tall.
Why?
Because everyone's look, me, so.
Exactly. But look at Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez was sitting down, right? He got off the chair. Yeah. He was the same size, isn't it? So I thought he was tall as well.
Sticky, stand up, quick.
Yeah,
what do you think this is?
Stand up.
I want to see this.
What do you think this is? I'm not saying that, man.
Stand up, Sticks, man.
Why you got this?
Let's see how the same size.
He's not sure.
You're lying, man.
He's not sure. His head nearly touched the ceiling, bro.
You're lying, man.
You're lying, my turn.
You're lying, man. You're tall, bro. You're tall, man.
See, I'm gonna mess up the thing now.
Actually,
I wish.
You have the camera attached to your hip or something?
I picked it up, innit? I gotta mess up the things now.
Yeah, it's mad. My 11-year-old's taller than me, so you get me, I'm sure. Facts.
So I'm with you. But Milan's just tall. Milan's just like
I would
again. That's a
love
bit.
that height. I would love it.
What do you say? Is that next week's topic? Yeah, tall women, short men.
Yeah.
That works, you know.
We're gonna have to talk about that.
Please, can we just keep that to next week? Because I've got too much to say on that topic. Thank you.
I could never, and this is a madness, and I know it sounds shallow, but I am shallow slightly in certain ways. I'll never say never, but I just don't know about being with someone, who's shorter than me, because I'm short, innit?
What about the same height?
If I can't look to you, then I ain't gonna have no respect for you. No, I'm joking.
The worst is she means it. That's the worst. She means it. She just didn't mean to say it. You know that? She meant it. She didn't need to say it. And shit.
So what you saying? He's saying to me, right? I know you like who do you like again? You like Donald Glover, isn't it? What's his name? Donald.
Yeah.
Whatever the man's name is. Yeah.
I like Kano more though, because Kano's my husband.
All right. So if you met Kano now, man of your dreams, and he turns out to be 4'9", what are you saying?
He's not. I've met him. He's not. He's good. He's tall. I looked up to him still, so it's fine.
6. Could you be with a girl that's taller than you?
Yeah. Most of them are.
Like what? 6 foot. 6 foot. You can go out with a 6 foot thing.
Boy, I don't know if that's a bit tall for me though. Still. I could, but I be like tiptoeing all the time, innit?
What do you mean you could? If you have to tiptoe to kiss her, she's not in your height range, bro.
Yeah, but she can bend down, can't she?
I don't know how you can be with a thing, and you got to do this and you got to That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Yeah? Talk about babes.
Again.
You hungry? That's mad. You know I love you, innit? That's mad, bro. I don't know. I don't think I could do it.
Why not?
But to be fair, I'm quite tall though, so.
Yeah, but imagine being in an argument and she's looking down at you like, what? Who are you talking to, fam? You're like, I'm talking to you like.
Sit down.
But you say that, right? But if you meet a girl that's shorter than you and she's arguing with you, she still does the same thing, though, isn't it? She's still looking up in your face and arguing with you.
Not really, because she can't reach.
Do you know what happens? So whenever I get things like my brother's about 6 foot, 6'1", 6 foot, something like that. When I get used to him, I get angry and he's like, just put his hands on my head and he's like, calm down.
Junior and Baker says, start working on them lats. I'm not sure who he's talking to, though.
Listen, can somebody kick him off the line? Listen.
I don't even know what lats are.
Junior Baker, yeah?
They're not lats are.
Listen, stop sending for people on the live, Junior Baker. This is for you. Oh, he's funny. It's all left though. It's all left, isn't it?
Anyway, we'll see. We'll leave that one until next week. I think our second topic is how mental health issues in a parent can impact their children. Oh, it's a very tough one, isn't it?
Milan needs to start this one about. Yeah, this one's a mad thing still.
I might have to get a drink for this one, boy.
Well, I'm gonna start off light first. And then so it's not necessarily like a mental health thing, but I feel like your attitude definitely rubs off on your children. I.e., since lockdown, I've now started working like full time. Still have the same job. I'm on a part-time contract, but for some reason we just have loads more hours. So I see my son literally like once a week now because I'm always at work, and I've started to see how his behaviour is changing because I'm not around, which I fully understand. But he goes back to school in September, and my hours will then go back to how they was before. So how I see it for the past 6 months or whatever, I'm just stacking. Do you know what I mean? That's what I need to do as a mum, and that's a decision that I've made. I'll deal with his behaviour and his attitude later because do you know what I mean? So I definitely feel that things that you do as an adult and as a parent around children, they definitely gravitate off of that. And if you're angry, they can sense that you're angry, and if you're talking to them with an attitude and stuff like that. But how this topic came about, I was on Instagram, and I don't even remember the account's name, but there was a girl, I don't know, a girl, there's a person who has is it a 2-year-old daughter, and some of the stuff, it's not even some of the stuff, all of the stuff that this person is posting on their Instagram, it's like it's child abuse. It is child abuse. And you know, I don't know the lady, I don't know whether she has mental health issues. I'm assuming that she does, and in the nicest way possible, I would like her to have like mental health issues, because then she can get help with that, and then help being a parent, and not be doing these sick and disgusting and twisted things to her daughter. So this will be an insensitive topic? No, a sensitive topic to talk about. I mean, I don't know if anyone else has seen it, but she was posting that basically she gets guys to come and like fuck her 2-year-old. She was out and went and bought a vibrator and like a dildo for her 2-year-old daughter. She's got videos of her being like, yeah, can't like wait to get her pussy. I can't even, yeah. I'm not going to go deep into it. It's just on Instagram. And this is the thing. This is what I don't understand as well. Why the hell was I able to view that on Instagram? And so I didn't even see the lady's official page. I'm seeing fan pages, fan groups. Now, I don't know whether someone else has made all of these groups and are taking posts from her original page, or if the actual girl is just making random fan pages and posting all of this stuff. But why is it on Instagram? Why isn't there, like, you know, if you say something, or even like during like lockdown, like Swarms and that had the twerking thing, and it was like literally if a girl showed too much bum, his Instagram was cut off for like a couple of days. That's a grown woman deciding that she wants to shake her bum on the internet and have people watching it. This lady is talking about the most disgusting things about her daughter, and Instagram are allowing it to be up there. Bearing in mind, the pages are open, so can Instagram not shut it down? If there's so much evidence out there, why is no one helping her? Why are child services not involved? Why is nobody saying anything? People are writing underneath the post, you know, this is disgusting, it shouldn't be out there, but is anybody actually trying to find her and trying to help her? Like, do you know what I mean? And it's just like, when her little girl grows up, I hope to God that she's not scarred by, because again, it's all, I don't know if it's true or not. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully it's not, and the woman's just sick and twisted. But if it is true, I hope her daughter's not scarred and is not, you know, her daughter could turn out to be like a prostitute at like 8 or so. Do you know what I mean? Like, and all of these things are happening and she's just not realising it. And it's just so disgusting. I don't understand it. Like, I have a son who's like 5. I would never dream, like ever, not even as a last foot, like to be talking about him in such a derogative way. Do you know what I mean? Like, that is my child. I am there to be his protector and will protect him against anything and against anyone. How am I going to then put him in harm? Especially in like a sexual way. I think that is just disgusting. So disgusting.
Ash, there's a lot in there, Ash. I mean, there's a lot. And again, if you're watching this and, you know, you're easily offended, we apologise, but it's actually a real thing. So this is what Milan's talking about, something that's been viewed on social media. Ash, what you got to say on this one? What's your take on this? You're muted, by the way, as well.
Boy, I don't know about all of that, man. That's kind of rough still. I just think, I hope it's not true and I hope it's not real, innit? You know what I'm saying? I hope it's not real, but I can't really talk too much on that. I just think it's fucked up, fam. If I talk about that shit, I'll talk about things that are other crimes. So I will not talk about that. You get me? That's crazy.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, I mean,
Share. I know you're a person who's always got good vibes. And what's your how you take into this information, and how did you feel when you first saw this?
What, me?
Yeah.
Oh no, I never seen that. I never seen that thing.
But how do you feel now that you've heard about it, and what's your take on it?
It's just sick, really, isn't it? Sick. But it's kind of like, it's a messed up world we live in, and I feel like a lot of people do suffer with mental health. A lot of people have more severe mental health, and some is mild. I think it's about 1 in 3 people will suffer with mental health in their life. So, that's why I think it's important for people to educate themselves on it, and, people to learn about it in schools, at work, that kind of thing, because, if it's learnt about, it can be tackled more. But, a lot of people don't understand it. And I do think that as a parent, having a mental health issue, it can affect your child emotionally, mentally. And, I think that's why it's important to just teach people what it's about, and, ways to tackle mental health, ways to handle it, that kind of thing. So, yeah.
Shids, I know when you heard about this as well, what was your views when you, or what's your views now hearing about this?
Yeah, so the way I heard about it initially was from my daughter, and I just remember feeling just mad upset, because I'm like, how was she able to? I know that the internet exposes them, all of us, anyone, to things that are disturbing. And I remember when she made me aware of this woman, and she was like, "Mum, look at her post. They just and people are reposting it, and people are commenting, and this woman's got over 10,000 followers. Like, what's going on? Like, why are people support? Like, for you to follow her, you're supporting her. How can you actually click the follow button and watch her and see what she's doing, and then go to sleep easily after seeing the things that she's been posting? They're severe. It's really bad. But I just believe in my mind that she is, it's either, whether it's an attention thing or whatever, it is definitely a cry for help. Mental health is very real. I think we all suffer we've all have suffered or might suffer mentally and have mental health issues. There's so many forms of it. It can go from the lowest level to the highest level, just as Cher said. And I definitely think that it's important to educate about mental health. I went through a period in my life where my mental health suffered. But luckily, by the grace of God, I was able to just pull my shit together. And it was my child that gave me that motivation to do that. But I remember there was a time, and I just got to a point where I was just like, I need a break. I can't do this. And, my child is first and foremost in my life. And I just got to the point where I was like, I don't want her to see me crying every day, or to know that, because they feel you, innit? They come from you, and children, regardless, like I work in a nursery, and children know when your mood has changed. They know, but they feel the energy. They're so innocent and pure that they can feel it. They'll spot it way before another adult has spotted it. So I think we have to be, in some cases you can't be careful or give that child thought, because your mental health issues might be so severe that you can't do that. And that's where I think there is not, it's out there. There's advocates for mental health. There's a lot of organisations, but I just don't feel that there's enough support, in the sense of, you know, there's not things in place social services are there, but I don't think they actually, I think because it's about numbers and it's about trying to get to everyone and trying to do those things, I don't feel that there's enough support. I feel that there should be separate teams, people that, just everyday people can relate to. Because if you find with a person, if it's a parent with mental health issues, most of them don't want to speak to social services. They don't want to speak to a support worker because they feel like they have that fear that their child's going to be taken away from them. I mean, they leave children with drug addicts and all sorts. But I think if you're not a drug addict and you don't suffer with those things, and that's not a problem in your life, like addiction and stuff, I think when you're suffering from mental health issues, a lot of people are afraid to speak up about it, especially parents, because of the fear of their child being taken away from them, when the goal is to keep the child with the parent. The child is always, better off with the parent, in my eyes. But I just think that it's fear with a lot of people, and this is why a lot of people don't own up to having mental health issues. But it can and probably will later on become detrimental to the child, because that's all the child's ever going to know. That's all they're ever going to remember. And then I think it has a knock-on effect, and then that cycle is not broken and it carries on, and then mental health runs through the family. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I just personally think that a better support and stronger support system needs to be put in place for those kind of things.
Definitely, yeah, I agree. You know what I've noticed, yeah, because obviously I grew up here, like I knew a lot of kids that had like maybe they were carers or whatever, yeah. So there is a lot of support for the kids, yeah, but there's not a lot of support for them as like a unit, like a family. Like there's not, you see, like working in a hospital, like there's like certain things you need to do in order to be able to come out. Like you need to be a certain level of hygiene, certain level of whatever. Like you have to tick certain boxes in order for them to be like, yeah, you look like you're well enough to go home. Do you get what I'm saying? I feel like in that scenario where it's family, I feel like the same kind of thing there should be a same kind of system where people go in and help them to rebuild that family unit, and to rebuild how to parent and how to be a child to a parent that's had mental health. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's hard, because for children that look after the parent, they literally become the parent. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's hard to not feel like that after. It's hard to go back and be like, okay, you're the mum now. Go on now, tell me what to do now. Do you know what I'm saying? When you're like, bro, but I've been looking after you for years, and now I'm supposed to. Do you know what I'm saying? Now I'm supposed to take order from you, and I've been the one, you get me, giving you orders all this time. Do you get what I'm saying? But so I definitely feel like there needs to be the same thing what you were saying, just like a system where, or like an organization that comes in and looks at it as a family issue. Do you get what I'm saying? Rather than, okay, let's take the kids away for a little while. Because I remember like kids that they used to get a lot of different things, that used to go out to bare different places and get like, you get me, special treatment and stuff. But it doesn't make any difference. You just had a good day. You get what I'm saying? You still got to go back and deal with what you're dealing with. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, you still got to go back and deal with what you're dealing with on your own. You know what I mean? Where like, if it was less about making the kids feel like they're normal, yeah, and more about making it work, like showing them a way that it can work. Like, there's nothing wrong with people that have mental health. It's just that they need to be on maybe certain medication, or they need to do certain things in order to be okay. Do you know what I'm saying? But as a family, we should be able to know what that is, and we should be able to know what it takes for them to be at their best. Do you know what I'm saying? But there's nothing in place to teach families how to deal with this thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's not just a personal thing. If you're going through mental health, it's not just you going through it. Everyone who loves you, everyone who's going to see you, everyone who's around you, you know what I'm saying, is going to go through it as well, innit? You get me? So I feel like that's something that people, that I hope, hopefully, I'll be able to be part of something that can help with that. Do you know what I'm saying? Because that's been something I've really wanted to do since I've worked in that kind of environment. I know that when people leave that environment, they go back to how they were, because there's nothing to help them once they're back out there. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with the families that lose their kids. Like, you might get your kids back, but then there's nothing to help you like maintain that family unit. Do you get what I'm saying? Because there's no way if your kids get taken away from you, they're gonna come back and still be the same with you. Do you know what I mean? They're gonna feel some type of resentment, but there's nothing. They're quick to come and destroy your family, but there's nothing to help you build your family. You know what I mean? Which is like, I feel like it's unfair because they will take your kids and not like in a second, for real. It's not like they might take your kids. They will, any excuse to take your kids. If you tick 2-3 boxes, they're taking your youth. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, but there's no one there to make sure that they don't. Like, this is what we're going to do to make sure they don't take your youth. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's not that. And I just feel like that the balance is not fair. Do you get me? The balance is not there.
Definitely a lot in there. Before I forget, DJ Empress says true words, bro. But touching back on Milan's original topic in regards to the lady posting things about her kids, right? So first of all, we don't know if that's actually her account, and it could be a catfish account. So first of all, she can't really say anything about her specifically because who's saying that someone's just not using her pictures and photographs? Secondly, Chidi made a good point. Why has that account got 10,000 followers? So whether it's her account or not, if that's the things that you're posting in that context, why is there 10,000 of you watching that and following along? But also, I think Milan might have said, why is that account so active? And it goes into my third point in terms of, I think it depends on what group of society you're talking about or upsetting. So the reason why I say that is because if you think this woman, from memory, it's a black woman with a black child, right? And she's talking about harming or doing certain things. I say she because again we don't know if it's her or not, but the person who's created the account is talking about doing things to a black woman and a black child. Yeah, so why would it be taken down? If they were talking about other groups of society, going back to our recent conversations the last couple of weeks, that would have been taken down a long time ago, right? So I think that answers the question as to why it's not been taken down, because had they said it's a Jewish woman and a Jewish baby, I think, I don't know why, but something tells me that account would have been shut down and permanently deleted a long time ago. We wouldn't have had the chance to reach 10,000 followers. So I think that's part of the reason why. I think that's, again, my answer to you, Milan, as to why that account's still there. I mean, read one of the messages. DJ Empress says, family does go through it, especially if they want to help. Okay, I think going back to what Ashley was saying about family and helping. You know what I mean? Milan, what's your views? What are you thinking? What are you saying?
So in regards to the person's account, it's like what Chidi said. There are 10,000 people out there that her stories or whatever are popping up on their feeds on a daily basis. And there's 10,000 people that think that's okay. Like, I couldn't even, like I said, I couldn't find the original account. I was looking at a fan page. Why would you be a fan page? Anyway, I was looking at a fan page. I think I watched the first 3 videos and then I couldn't watch anymore because it made me feel sick. It made me feel angry. It made me, like, literally all of my emotions was just in a mess. And I literally had to take like half an hour out and just sit there and just with no music, no TV on in the background, just to like level myself again. Do you know what I mean? It made me so angry, and that's just by watching 3 videos. I didn't follow any of the accounts or nothing, but there are 10,000 people out there that are watching those on a daily basis, liking the videos and the pictures. Why are you liking it? If I like a picture, say if Chidi puts a picture up or Ashley puts a picture up, I'm liking the picture because I like what you've put up. Do you know what I mean? If you're liking this woman's disgusting, disturbing videos, what? So there's another 10,000 people out there that are doing the exact same thing, but we just don't know. Do you know what I mean? It really puzzles me, and it doesn't sit right with me. It really doesn't. And then going on what Ashley was saying, I definitely feel like people in general need to be educated on mental health. And I don't mean that, you know, they need to like go to seminars and write essays and have to say back what they learned, but there are so many families out there that say for instance, if I was having trouble with my son, or I felt a type of way, or I felt like, you know, I needed a break because I couldn't do it, and I don't mean like me personally, I just mean like in general, there are so many people that can't go to their mum or auntie or nan or whoever, they can't go to an older in their life and say, I am having these problems and I am having these issues and I need your help. Because you either get told that you're like stupid, or you're imagining it, or especially when you're obviously I'm not a guy, I can just speak from like a woman's perspective, but so many people are like, but you're a mum and you're supposed to be able to deal with it. Do you know what I mean? And it's like there's no book, there isn't a manual to life in general anyway. There's not a manual into being a mum, because before I had my son, I didn't have another kid. I didn't learn from anything. I just got sat with this child, and it was like, oh, okay, cool. Now I need to figure out the smallest of things, and things that you don't even think about. Like, you know, as an adult, sometimes I don't want breakfast in the morning. I just want to get up and go. But now you've got to psychologically think, right, I need to get up and do my child breakfast because my child needs breakfast, and then they need lunch. Do you know what I mean? So there's things that as a parent, and especially as a woman, people just think that you're just supposed to know how to do everything. And, you know, if, I don't know, 1 million women in the world are doing it, and on the surface look like they're handling life, and they're handling being a parent, and they're juggling being a parent, going to work, housework, like a social life, why can't you do that? Do you know what I mean? And everyone just looks down on you like, oh, she's off again. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, and that's how people turn to like drink, drugs, you know, or they just want to like leave their kids here, there and everywhere, and go and like skin out. And it's not necessarily because they're a bad parent, it's a cry for help. But people just look and they're just like, oh, she's at it again. Do you know what I mean? So it definitely it needs to start at home. But how do you educate the like elders on something that, do you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it, but how do you educate the elders? Do you know what I mean? Is it just now we as a generation need to take that into account, and like we start learning, and then we show it down to like our kids and then their kids and stuff like that? Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Definitely a lot in there. Before I head over to show, read some of these messages quickly. Life Made Tyrant says, yo, Ash, it's Tyrone. I ain't a stranger. I have for 61 days. I'm not sure what that part meant. I feel you, sis, talking about what Milan was saying. It's the truth. There's a root of life, though, and we have mental health. I'm not sure what that means. It's being systematically done to us. School, food, water, technology, human race. We don't treat each other with love. DJ Impress says, I disagree. And that's where that's ended. So hopefully one of them tell us why they disagree. Sher, what are you saying? What's your views on this?
Yeah, I think there's such a long way to go. And with the time we're in as well with social media, it's like people either use it for a good way or a bad way, and a lot of the time there's a lot of corruption going on in the world, so that is presented, and the things that need to be spoken about are not really presented. So I just think it's important to push the things that need to be spoken about, you know, so people can learn about mental health. A lot of people still don't even know what mental health is, you know. Because I've got my mental health platform, somebody even asked me, what's mental health? Like, they really didn't know. So I just think it's all about learning, and, you know, when it comes to people individually, just learning about yourself and learning to accept who you are, and, you know, not being so hard on yourself, but at the same time being able to talk to somebody, you know, even if it's just a friend or something, being able to express how you feel. Because a lot of the time, especially in the Black community, you know, we don't really express ourselves enough because, you know, we're told you're strong or be strong or whatever. But a lot of the time, you know, there's hidden stuff behind that. So I just think it's important to really educate ourselves overall.
Nice, okay, a lot going on there. Should we read some of these messages? Life Made Tyrant says, my last name is Stride. It means, I don't know what that means. DJ Empress says, I don't think it's systematically. Life Made Tyrant says, taking large steps to closing the gap to equality in all life forms. Junior Baker says, yes, it's all perception. We all want the result and not the journey process in life. Speak how you feel, DJ. Because I talk of feelings, not what I'm thinking. When I think they said DJ, I don't think it's talking about me, okay? Just putting it out there. I think it's talking about DJ Empress. Chids, talk to me. What are you saying? Breathe it all in, love it all out.
I mean, like, so I'm going to talk about, obviously I cannot speak about mental health from a man's perspective. All I can speak about is what I've experienced and what I'm around. And, you know, over the past few years, like in the area that I live, quite a few young men, some I went to school with and stuff, they've taken their own life. And it's all been due to having mental health issues and feeling that they can't talk to anyone about it. So the only answer was to kind of end it all. I do feel that women are more likely to speak out about any mental health issues that they might be going through. Women, we talk about so many things on a daily basis to other women, to other men, to anyone really. Like, how many times as a woman, like, I know this has happened for me, is like, I've come home from work and I've sat in my car for about half an hour and just had a good cry before I've come in the house and been like, yeah, I'm new to them, like everything's normal. But that, releasing that emotion and having a word with myself and being able to talk to myself and kind of just express, it does help. But I feel for men, it's not the same, because men are always taught to be, nah, you're a man, you need to be strong, you can't talk about emotions, you can't be weak, you can't be this. It's seen as being weak, but it's not. And this is where the system and society fail men on a daily basis. How many men, like the rate of male suicide is shot right up over the past 10 years. And for me, that is so painful to hear about, to be around, you know, to watch the families. Like my best friend, her cousin took his life, and then his best friend, because he couldn't handle it, he couldn't take it, he took his life too. Do you get me? In the same way. And it was just, it's awful. And I just feel like it's almost like it has to get to that point until they notice, oh my God, these young men are suffering. There's a lot of pressure on men to be strong, to be leaders, to do certain things in life. There's a lot of peer pressure. And I just feel there's not enough support for young men. There's definitely not enough support for young, we'll talk about colour, I will bring race into it. There's definitely not enough support for young black men. I don't see nothing in place. People will start little organisations, but then you don't hear nothing about it. It kind of fizzles out or just fades off into the background, because I just feel that, you know, talking about black men, I mean, all men are important, all human beings are important, but men specifically, I just feel that they really suffer. And black men, there's not enough people that they can, you know, relate to or look to, or anyone that they feel that they can go and talk to, especially within the culture. Because I've got, you know, my younger brother, I've always said to him, if you ever feel any type of way about anything, you come and talk to me. My mum says the same thing to him. Luckily, we grew up in a family where we are able to go and talk to, the men are able to go and talk to their elders. But I know from, talking to friends and stuff that they can't, like I've got one friend, he was really, really suffering, and he lives in the London area. And he just said to me, Chip, there's no one I can go and speak to. I can't go and speak to my grandmother or my mum or anyone, because they'll just look at me and say, oh, why are you trying to go on like you're mad, or like, fix up, what's wrong with you? I think the attitude about mental health is shocking. Nobody knows. Like, mental health, it could be anything. It could be any little thing. And nobody is educated enough to recognize the signs or to have empathy for anybody who's suffering with mental health. They'll just look and say, look at her, she's mad, or look at him, he's off his head. Like, you can't have that attitude. You really have to look at it, look a little bit deeper and think, do you know what, maybe something is wrong. And we need to have more open doors where people, and especially men as well, because there's such a rise in male suicide, there needs to be an open door where they can go and speak to somebody and actually talk about emotions and say how you feel. Even because, remember, some people think to themselves, nah, this is trivial, now I'll get over it, now I'll be okay. But no, because that could develop and it can grow and grow and grow, and before you know it, that's another life gone, because they have nobody to speak to. I just don't think there's enough support out there, and like, especially for men. So,
True, there's a lot in there, right? I'm going to go to Ash in a second. I just want to ask you guys, there's quite a lot going in the on the live, right? And I couldn't even keep up with the messages. I was trying to listen to Chids and share, and I was trying to read the messages. So we got Tyrone, we've got Junior, we've got DJ Empress, we've got Mayday Carter, and I think a couple of others in there. I think it might be worth inviting them onto the live to join us all, so they can share their opinions. But before we do so, I want to ask Ash, going by what Milan, Shir, and Chidi have said, as a black man, do you think it's more difficult to speak about mental health if you feel like you were suffering personally? Do you think, as a young black man from the Afro-Caribbean background, do you think it's more difficult for you to speak on, or more of a stigma towards you if you had mental health, or to refer back to mental health?
100%, because we don't trust each other. We don't trust our women. We don't trust our brothers. We don't trust our friends. We don't trust no one. So who would you go to? We're born alone, die alone. That's our mentality, because that's the only way we can survive out this thing. And everyone, like most black men, are just like, we've been programmed to think, what's the best way for me to survive, innit? What's the best way for me to be okay? You get me? So whenever if you're weak or if you're suffering, you're not going to share your suffering with people you don't trust. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's why they won't. Who you going to tell? You know what I'm saying? If you got like good relationships with people will know that something's wrong. Do you know what I'm saying? But other than that, we're not really going to go to people and be like, oh yeah, that. Do you know? Unless you trust them like that. Do you know what I mean? But when you get to a certain age, bro, if you've already gone through so much shit with people, you're like, I don't trust no one out of this bitch. Do you get me? You'll get the one. I can't say for everyone, but majority of the time you'll get to an age where there's not 20 people you trust anymore. You know what I'm saying? When you're younger, there's more people you trust, like, but life teaches you that you can't trust everyone that's around you. You feel me?
Isn't there saying something like your best friend can be your worst enemy?
Yeah.
Something like that. Someone do me a favor. Can one of you put the link in the group, right? In the on the thingamajig? Because there's a few in there, and DJ Empress says she's not joining, but I think we might change our mind. So can someone throw the link in there? In fact, I'll do it myself actually. Throw a link in there, get some of them on the live to share their views as well on this. Again, because there's a lot in there.
One thing I would say though, in terms of being black and suffering from mental health, I would say that we need more black people or more black males to work in those kind of environments, or people that understand the culture to be in them kind of environments. Because a lot of the time, the men don't make it out of there for the sheer fact that there's no one in there that understands how their behavior. Do you get what I'm saying? So behavior that would be seen as not normal to us, but we understand it, to them is super aggressive and super scary. Like, man, them don't even have to really be on this thing for them to treat them like they're the baddest man on the road. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's scary because I've seen it myself. I've seen man them that they look scary. They present like, you get me, but really they're nice guys. You get what I'm saying? But as soon as man shout, you get me, like everyone's there, alarms pulled, everyone's round and ready to go. You know what I'm saying? But a white youth could be walking around kicking off doors and smashing everything, and everyone's just kind of like, oh, that's how he is. Just let him vent. You know what I'm saying? So he can vent, but as soon as the man them shout, man, alarm pulled, everyone's ready to go. And the maddest thing is, it's not a racist thing, because a lot of the people that work in that environment are black people, isn't it? Yeah, they're just not people from the culture. They're not people that understand the ends. They're not people that understand where we come from. Do you know what I mean? So it's black people, but it's like aunties and uncles and Africans and Caribbeans and people that are not from England. Innit? They don't understand British culture. They don't understand that Black Britain is a thing. They don't understand that Black British is a culture of its own. They don't really get it. You get me? To them, you that are black, but you're acting like you're some. You get me? They think it's an act. I can't put on this act. I talk like this whether I'm around my aunties, grandparents. It doesn't matter who I'm with. I talk the same. It's not an act. I can't change it. I can't turn it off. The same way your accent is your accent. You can't switch it up. I can't switch it up. Do you get me? And that's something that people don't really understand. They think that this is an act. They think that this London thing or this, you get me? We're from the ends. This ends thing is a thing. It's really our culture. There's like thousands of us, hundreds of thousands of us that speak like this, that walk like this, that talk like this, that act like this. It's not just me. This is not like a niche. It's not like a taboo, fam. There's loads of us, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're real. We exist. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And that's something that I think people outside of the culture don't really get. And there's a lot of men like us in them environments. So we need to be there, man. We need to be there for that. Otherwise, they're gonna suffer, because at the end of the day, no one gets it except for us. Do you know what I mean?
I did also what you just said then, like obviously saying about being black and being British and stuff. I know London's obviously the first place that everyone thinks of, but you know, obviously in Wales, you've got a large black community. You've got these guys of black men, do you get me? And it's not just something that it happens in Cardiff, yeah. That I know majority of black men in this area, they've got no one to turn to. There's nobody there, and the first thing anything pops off, it's them who's getting, do you get me? They're getting grabbed for it. And I know.
Well, you know what I noticed? The culture's the same. It doesn't even matter.
That's what I'm saying. The
culture's the same.
Yeah, that's the point I was trying to make.
Because I've worked with there, man, like from Bristol, from there, like from Birmingham. But they're the same. We get it because we're from the same culture. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. Like, do you know what? It's like, I'm like my one friend. She came down to visit me one time, and I took her down to my cousin's house and that, and she was like, "Bruh, it's like being in the end." You get me? Like, it's actually it's exactly the same. You go to Manchester. Manchester is worse than London. It's worse, bigger scale. Do you get me? You go Birmingham. Birmingham's mad. There's no support in place for these young black men, do you get me? And it's like a lot of them, I've even spoken to young black men who say that they will hide and be shadowed behind their white male friends in order to get some kind of help. I know one guy, he actually got his white friend to like make a phone call and say, look, I'm suffering, I need help, blah, 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 whatever. And then when he actually went to the place, he turned up, he took his white friend with him, and he said, it's actually me who has the problem. And then when he was asked why he did that, he said, because I didn't feel as a black man that I could come to an organization and get the help that I need, because is there really anyone here that I can relate to, or who's going to relate to how I'm feeling? So I definitely think from a cultural aspect, it's very different for black males. It's hard for all men of any colour. Do you get me? I need to put that point out there. It's hard for just a man being a man, but it's just a little bit harder for, you know, Asian men and black men to get that support and that help. It's really tough.
There's a lot in there. Do you know what, again, guys, there's a lot of messages in the chat, right? I can't really keep up with it, to be honest with you. It's like, it just keeps going one after the other. Tyrone says, and 61 days now. I'm not sure what that is. I'll actually ask your brother. But here I am, 10 toes on my own, hugging the world. I'm not sure what that means. I've put the link in the group. So Tyrone, if you want to join in, Junior Bake, if you want to join in, Junior Bake is probably, we're not all alone. Actually, I just want to ask a question, going back to what Chidi and you were saying before, right? About being a young black man. Do you think things are getting better as we're getting older, and as our generations are changing? Do you think things are getting easier in that sense?
I don't think nothing's changed except for the knowledge has changed. Like, we know now, so we can change it because we know now. So I feel like the information is better, but action we still need action, innit? Like, we don't own no hospitals, so no, I don't feel like nothing's better because we don't own no hospitals. Like, it's the maddest thing is, like, we don't actually have any control of what's going on with our brothers or sisters when they're in there. We don't really know medication they're on. We don't know what the medication does to them, the side effects. You get me? We don't know how long they're going to have to be on it. We don't know nothing. We just leave them in there, like, hopefully they come out good. That's basically what happens. So I don't feel like it's better. You get me? I feel like the only time would be better is if when we actually know what's happening, are involved in what's happening, we have a say in what's happening. You get me? Yeah, that's how I feel like it'll be better, man.
But
You know
don't you think the fact that we're more aware of it is better in itself? So that way, as we were saying before, and as everyone said, being a young black man specifically, trying to go to someone else to tell them of how you feel, coming down to feelings, really, innit? Whether it be mental health or your emotions, was always difficult to do so. But now, you know, we've been our family's been in the UK for a lot longer. Do you not think that it's getting a bit easier?
Yeah, I think it's easy. I think, yes. If I say no, I'd be lying because I talk about my feelings and thoughts and emotions every week live on Instagram. So for me to say no would be a lie. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's got better, but everyone doesn't do that, and everyone still doesn't talk about how they feel, and everyone still isn't honest about it. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm just trying to create a platform where people feel comfortable. If I do it and I'm still the same every time you see me, then you can do it, and you'll still be the same. You ain't gonna change. It's not gonna make you less. You get me? In fact, it'll probably make you more. That's the aim. So so I feel like that's the whole point, innit? I feel like it will get better because if I didn't think it would get better, I wouldn't be doing this. So I feel like it will definitely get to what we want it to be, and that's the aim. That's what we want, innit?
Share what you saying. And you've been very quiet. Milan, we're gonna come to you next as well. And you've both been very quiet.
Yeah, I think in a way it's got better because, you know, a lot of people are more open, a lot of people are speaking out, that kind of thing. A lot of people are trying to help. But in a way, it's kind of got worse as well because, you know, there's still people that need help. There's still people that don't understand about mental health. There's still a lot of corruption going on everywhere. And, you know, I feel like social media is a big part of the world now, basically. Yeah, so I feel like social media has a big part to play in it because of what kind of things are viewed, what kind of things are put in your face without, you can't like scroll without seeing something that might, you know, affect you mentally. So it's just important to take care of your mental health, you know, no matter who you are. And yeah, I do think it is a big issue for Black males to speak about their mental health. And, you know, I just feel like people should be comfortable enough to express themselves, you know, how they want.
Milan? What are you saying? And he said, and they've been very quiet. Kids, cheer up. It's okay.
I definitely feel like for young, obviously I'm not old, so I don't know about older, like the older generation, but for young people, especially if we're talking about, you know, like in the community and stuff, it's definitely because so people think like mental health, the first thing they think about is like you know, if like depression and stuff like that, and things that are in the media that you like know about and stuff like that, and it's not like literally everyone goes through like mental health issues, like and it doesn't mean that you're ill or you need tablets, or do you know what I mean? If for a couple of days you literally wake up in the morning and you're just, there is something going on like mentally, you have mental health issues. Do you know what I mean? So if you spoke to someone about it and was like, oh, do you know what, I've been waking up a couple of days and I just feel like I can't, just talk about it. Do you know what I mean? But people see that because no one wants to admit to having mental health issues. Nobody wants to admit to having any issues. Do you know what I mean? Everyone wants to go on like they are the best thing since fucking sliced bread. But you're not. Do you know what I mean? And everybody has issues. And I think where like social media is involved as well, and it's not even social media, it's social media trying to impress other people, especially now going back to like what we talked about like in fashion. Guys want to be the drippiest guy out there. They want to have the best swagger. They want to have a Rolex watch, and they want to be dripping in this designer, that, and da. But it's like you're going out there, putting on a front and a facade, and then you're going home, and your like wallpaper's hanging off your walls. You're sleeping on a dirty mattress on the floor. Do you know what I mean? Trying to keep up with a lifestyle is going to affect like your mental health, but no one will ever admit that. And that is having a mental health issue. Do you know what I mean? So having a mental health issue is not something that is diagnosed by a doctor. And it doesn't need to be diagnosed by a doctor. It will just be the smallest thing. Trying to, you know, get the best looking girl out there, or the girl that's trying to get like her body to look like this and have a flat belly and big bum. Do you know what I mean? All of these things are affecting like your mental health, but no one wants to admit it. Do you know what I mean? Because, you know, everybody's doing it. Everyone's posting it on Instagram. When you go to a party or you go to the corner shop, like there are guys that go corner shop in a pair of loops. Like, I'm going in slides, leggings, and a baggy t-shirt because I'm going shopping and coming back home. But they can't step out of their house in nothing less than loops. Do you know what I mean? Because if they get caught in, I don't know, like even like Adidas trainers and or a Nike tracksuit, it's like, oh well, why was the other day he was wearing? Do you know what I mean? That the world that we live in is so crazy. So for it just goes back to educating people, and for people not being afraid to say, "What, I needed the day off," or do you know what I mean? I wasn't in the live for 2 weeks, I think, or a week, because I just didn't want to talk. I just, not that I wasn't interested in the topics that there was, but I just needed a break. I just wanted to just sit in my house and do me. Do you know what I mean? So, and that doesn't mean I now have a clinical like mental health issue, and a report and a record, and I need to go to Bethlehem. It's a mental hospital in Croydon. That I don't need to go there, and I need to like sign in and talk to someone about my feelings, and I need to have sand and a rake, and if my lines are wiggly, then you know I'm obviously angry. No, I just needed to take time out, and I did that, and I would not be afraid to say that. Is it because I'm a woman? No, it's just because that's me. I do needed to take time out. I'm not going to be like ashamed to say that. So people just need to just stop being so hard on each other, because it takes for someone to, if they take their life, for everyone to be like, oh, well, I kind of thought that she was or he was. Do you know what I mean? Because as well, so I'm rambling here, but you know, like some people, I'm a type of person, I notice things. So I will notice you having, your mood is off. So I'll be like, oh, you're right. And you're just like, yeah. Now I want to know more because I know that you are not okay. Do you know what I mean? But you might not want to talk to me about the issue that's going on, but just that person knowing that I've took a couple of minutes out of my day to ask if they're right, to check up on them. Do you know what I mean? It could help. It might not. I might be making it worse, but I like to think that I'm helping. Do you know what I mean? So we should all look out for our friends and family, and just check on people every once in a while. And if someone's acting different or their behaviour is erratic, you know, it could be a cry for help because they don't want to say, I am not okay. But don't then make them feel bad. Do you know what I mean? Just be there as a friend or like a family member or a lover or, you know, whatever title that you want to give yourself.
Wait, did you say a lover as well? Anyway, I won't say nothing because lovers are sharing myself. We have got a guest who's decided to join us.
Milton.
Wait, the guest is. Oh, I thought he was gone for a second. We've got a guest who decided to join us. Who was very active in the on the comments. Mr. Milton, come on, introduce yourself. Tell us what you want to say. But you got to unmute yourself, though.
Unmute yourself now.
Yo, I'm still on this technology still. Okay. So touching down on this mental health thing, just diving straight in. Just running back from being like youth and everything. We've been exposed to everything, but as youngers, you ain't realizing it's all hunky dory, it's daisy. Growing up on the States, whatever. You ain't accustomed to things as you grow up in it. So growing up, experiencing things, anyone with depression at a young age and their teens now, you're telling people just snap out of it, it ain't real, it ain't this. I had like uncle who was schizophrenic, so experienced all mad stuff and that, but still medicated and everything. Growing up, you think medicated is the answer. Fast forward then, I was run for cities, so run for Cardiff, run for Wales. It was due to go Commonwealths, Golden Coast and everything. I had dreams, ambitions, all these things, same as everyone. Got stabbed up in a nightclub. Never used to drink. One night, I had a little drink, got tipsy. This boy approached me, never even knew him, but Chidi knows him because we're all family sort of thing, innit? We're all from, like you say, culture, fucking wind rushing, all deep now, again a bit. Anyway, so get stabbed up in a nightclub, all dreams, ambitions crushed. I think, nah, I ain't gonna fall into that thing of being depressed. Nah, I love that. So get back up on ones, get back into training. They like the stabbing and everything, it was no altercation. He came up to me in the nightclub, what are you saying? I pushed him away, pulls out a knife, I drops him, he falls into his friend picks him up, just lunges forward, I froze, he stabbed me. Bam, operations and everything, so I fucking bladder, stab, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, fast forwarding, still doing my athletics and thing. And then all of a sudden, they're coming down to the track. So I got all these folk that see me, you know, growing up and everything, they know who I am. Visually, if people see us, they're just taking the impression, like, you know, I don't even know you, Ash, but hearing about you saying about your tracksuit, blah, blah, blah. People look at you with your beard and everything, rough. Not rough, you look handsome, but, you know, people look at you, they make an impression in it, they stereotype, whatever it is. So same way, like, people who knew me sort of looked at me and was like, so why did you get stabbed? It's like me explaining, like, there was no altercation, it was this, that, and the other, you know, it was just no pretense or nothing. It just happened. And people just look at you different, like, the victim, the one with the scar, if you see someone in the street with a big scar across their face, like, it's an ugly scar, it's like, keep away from that person. Nah, they were the victim, like, you know, hear the story, people got stories. So yeah, anyway, cutting it short, I gave up athletics, moved away from it, just for me, protecting them kind of people, because they were trying to move to me on the track and stuff. And for some stupid reason, one of my mates advised me on getting a knife. So I got a knife, and stupid me, I would have used it. Because after getting stabbed, the same year, I was jumped by 4 family members and a friend. The one family member was a father. There was 2 brothers and 2 friends. And a mother drove them to the barbershop to fuck me up. So yeah, it's all deep. So coming through that, from 21, didn't experience no mental health up until I became a father 4 years ago. And now I'm screaming for help. for people who don't want to know. Some mad thing. Someone cut in. Switch. Oh, you want to mute this one?
Yeah, you know what I've noticed when it comes to us, no matter what happens, we're the same. We don't get treated like the victim. We're the perpetrator. So no matter what happens, so even if like if you get shot, whatever, they don't look at you like you're someone who's suffered a traumatic experience. You get me? They just look at man as someone who's been part of like a gang activity. Do you get me? They look at man as the perpetrator all the time. It don't matter what man go through. You must have brought that on yourself somehow. You get what I'm saying? You're not gonna. There's no what. If someone like if a white you get stabbed, you're not even and survives. You're not gonna ask him like why did you get stabbed? You're gonna just ask him if he's okay. How does he feel? Like, do you get what I'm saying? But for us, you're gonna ask the story. You wanna know, raw, like what happened? Did you fight? Did you? You get what I'm saying? You wanna act like it's an action movie. You know? Like we're humans as well. You get what I'm saying? Like people don't look at us as they look at us like we're superhuman because secretly they know that we are superhuman. Do you get? That's why they don't have the same sympathy for us. That's why they don't have the same. You get me? The same kind of empathy for us. Because they're looking at like, bro, if I was you lot, bro, I'll be. You get me? If I had what you lot had, I'll be. You get me? And it's true. They wish they could be like us. That's why they don't have sympathy for us like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Mm. It's fucked up, but there's two ways you can look at it, bro. There's two ways you can look at it. You get me? Realize that we are the superhumans that they expect us to be. Yeah, not to say that we can't go through things because we do, but only we can help each other. Because I'm telling you, like in those environments, they won't look at us. They still won't look at you as the victim. In them places, bro, they still don't look at man as the victim. The same way they have sympathy for the other people, bro. I've seen it with my eyes. They got sympathy for everyone else but the man them, bro. They don't have sympathy for the man them. Even when you're there crying, bro, they don't have sympathy for you like that.
Nah, I feel that.
Like, I've had to hug the man them, bro. Like they will say, oh no, you can't hug. You know what I'm saying? You can't hug people, you can't hug patients or whatever. They will say that, but you will see them hug their ones. Do you feel me? People that you get me, that they relate to, they will hug that. They will hug them. They will show them that extra love. They will go the extra mile. Do you get what I'm saying? Because that's what people really need. But they won't do that for us in that environment, bro. We are the only people that can do that for us, bro.
Yeah, so I heard DJ say earlier, yeah. Sorry, cutting you. I heard DJ saying earlier about, the closest ones to you. So cutting back a bit, 4 years ago, with my partner, she was a barber before me. I was in college doing it, but she wanted to make moves. Like I said, it ain't about that life. Never weighed an ounce like Kano. Never seen a brick. It ain't about it. That ain't me. I was around them ones, like, but they kept me like away from my stuff. Keep you on your ones and everything. So yeah, it weren't about that life. But anyway, fast forward in all my mental health, she's aware of, exposed to, knows and everything. 4 years after opening the barbershop for her, working alongside her and everything, getting a second job as a bin man to work fucking 5:30 in the morning, till 1:30 to then go in the barbershop so can relieve her so she can have the kids, doing the things like you're supposed to do. So 4 years later, she's fed up of that. She don't want that life, even though I'm making the things happen, providing finance, doing this, doing that, we're supposed to be doing, giving her time alone. She's gone and made a relationship with a customer, cutting all kind of professional boundaries, and then gone behind my back, even though we got a family holiday booked to Jamaica. And she's doing all these kind of moves, just waiting to get home. And then COVID kicks in. So she's like, fuck it, we ain't going to Jamaica. I just announce it now. So she announces it. And then all this shit now with my daughters. So I've been there, the one who like would finish work at 2:30 before my second job, go wash up, clean all the hair off me, go pick the daughters up, one from nursery, one from school, make sure they're fed, played with, done all the things. And now I don't even see them for 24 hours in a week. I get to see them twice, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then overnight on a Friday night. They're sleeping now. So when I seen this mental health topic, I thought I'm jumping on this. Chidi always tells me, come chat to her now. I haven't reached Chidi for years. She's one of the ones. Everyone knows Chidi. Like even having it on my doorstep, like I still won't even go there. It's a mad thing. So yeah, my girl done me wrong. She fucked me over. She's taking me for everything. She wants me to surrender the shop. I ain't got a penny to my name. She's still taking all my money. So I'm at fucking death's door right now. Like Chidi, I said to her about them boys, like I'm ready to do it, but I won't do it. But
and this is my biggest thing. What do we do? That this is my friend. This is somebody who is very dear to me. You got me? I got a lot of love for, and I know that they're suffering, but I also know that, due to environment, due to lack of certain things, he's not, there's nowhere for him to reach out for that help. What does he do? Where does he go? How does he tackle it? How does he deal with living every day, thinking these thoughts, knowing that he feels this way, but also feeling that there's nowhere for him to go? What do we do?
The family are there, innit? But like, dad's a yard, man. Reach out to him and it's just snap out of it. Do what you gotta do. So when I'm chatting all kind of nonsense, saying I'm gonna go and beat up man, I'm gonna go and get a shot and go down there and do all these stupid things. Like I go and live in jail. I was living in my own house for 2 years, wouldn't step outside. PTSD had me mad. And then after that, I thought, you know what? I could go and kill someone and live in a jail and wouldn't be twice as bad as living in my house. I was living in 4 walls, my bedroom and a toilet. Mad. But yeah, that's what I mean, mental health. That's my head's gone. Try and have a civil conversation and just chat nonsense.
You know what, yeah? It's not nonsense, bro. You see that, yeah? That place there is something that is common that for we don't all go through it, but it's common. It's common. It's something that a lot of men have to go through. Do you get me? And a lot of men don't talk about it when they've gone through it. Men will act like they didn't feel nothing. Like when they had to break. Because come on, fam, a lot of men got kids and they don't live with them, bro. A lot of men got kids and their kids are over there and men are over here. And man got to figure out how to be okay. You have to figure out how to be okay because at the end, they don't have a choice, bro. You don't have a choice. Like, I know exactly what you're talking about, having to move out of the yard and be in a yard where it's just you in this room. Fam, you got to wake up. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what's the point of getting up today. And you know what I'm saying? You're going to bed in the same shit you woke up in, bro. I've been there, bro. I've been there, fam. You get me? And man, the only thing that gives man hope is that this can't last forever, bro. It cannot last forever, fam. Like, if you got a parent, a dad that is not with your mum, and so you know, like, don't think your pops didn't go through this shit. And like, only like now I can go back to my pops and I said to him, "Raw, dad, you know what? I now know what it feels like to have a family that you cannot influence, that you have to watch. You watch from the outside. I now know what that feels like. All these years that I never knew how it felt or how it must have felt for you to have watched all of us live with our mums and you have to be somewhere else." And he said, "Son, thank you for saying that to me. I never knew that my whole teenage life, 15, 18, 21, 25, and clocked, fam. I was thinking, dad is dad. Yeah, but it's cool. You get me? Until I had to really sit here and be like, I'm here. My daughter's over there, bro. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who's not, and I don't know nothing. Yeah? All I know is what I'm told. Yeah? And I have to accept that as the truth. Because whether it's the truth or not, you get me? But then my dad has to do the same thing. Dad, how you all right till this day, 56, bro? How did you do that? He said, son, I told you, bro. You have to just let them do their thing, fam. Do it. Don't make no one mad you. Your life is for you. And then I realized, no, it's for real. You can love everyone. You can give your last to everyone in your... Bro, everyone is going to live for them. No one's going to live for you. You get me? The only person that's going to live for you is you. Not even your baby's going to live for you, bro. You get me? And that's what a man is. You know what a man? You see, like, the most successful men, women hate them, bro. Everyone hates them, but they're happy, bro. Because they ain't living to please not one of you motherfuckers. They're not living to please their youth, their wife, their mum, their cousin, no one. They're living to please themselves. And they're happy, bro. Happy. Everyone can be as mad as they want, fam. Man have to be okay. And they don't know what it takes for us to be okay, fam. No one does. No one knows what it takes for us to be okay, fam. You get me? Sticky's okay, cause Sticky don't give a shit. Cause Sticky's like, listen, I like peace and quiet. If you're talking too loud, I'm just gonna mute you. You get me? That's him. And he sticks to it. You know, he's not gonna change himself to suit nobody. You see, if you start changing yourself to suit people, fam, yeah, it will hurt you, fam. And no one will care when you're mashed up and you're hurt. People will look at you like, oh, you're not even, oh, I can't use you no more later.
Nah, you know that I'm some master dog.
Bro, just be useful for you, bro. Be
Nah, thank
useful
you,
for
man.
yourself first. You get me? Make sure you're useful for you, fam. Do you get me? Because other people will drop you if you ain't useful, bro. Don't drop yourself, cuz. You get me? Be useful for you all the time, fam.
All I gotta say is true talk.
Come on, bro. Slap every time, bro, man. Come on, man.
So,
every single time.
So we run a message from DJ Empress. She says, love is the key, but trust is the lock. Love is the key, but trust is the lock. No, I just want to quickly say something, right? You said something at the beginning when you introduced yourself. You said you had an altercation at a nightclub.
Yeah, so, right, the altercation was basically, run it back, so...
No, wait, hold on. Before you say altercation, I'm not asking for the altercation, actually, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I was actually going to say, do you know what? The altercation you explained already, it
was minor.
No, it's not. It wasn't minor. It's definitely not minor. If someone stabs you, it's not minor.
No.
But
the altercation, like how he approached me and why he approached me, was minor.
I believe that most times it is. But what I was gonna say is, it's actually a blessing that you're still here to tell the story, because that could have gone a completely different way. That I'm sure we've all
but that's how
seen
my
on the
mind
news.
works. I got no motivation now to act upon it. I've just lived like the past 12 years just going by. I still work every day. I just get by. It's Groundhog Day. You still got to provide and do things. Not
Exactly,
happy in life.
and exactly that's what I'm trying to say. That could have been a different way. You might,
like Ashley's saying.
Exactly, but it could have been a different story. The story could have been Chidi would have got flowers to put on your grave, but you're here to tell the story, which means that Chidi didn't have to buy flowers. So I'm just saying it's a blessing that you're here to tell the story. Do you know what I mean?
It should be like that. Like in the barbershop, the second time when I got assaulted by the five of them, the family members and friends, the father tried to stab me, mad thing, but the kitchen knife snapped, like one of them cheap ones in there, the handle, and I snapped because I was wearing 2 pairs of joggers. But while he come into the barbershop, the barber had nothing to do with it. The barber was cutting his son's hair like half hour prior to this when they see me in the shop, because I didn't even know who these boys were. But the father came in, the barber put his hands up to block him because I was trying to go out the back way, and just put his arm around the back of the barber and stabbed him, punctured the barber's lung. The barber had nothing to do with it. He could have pushed him to the side. He could have kicked him out of the way. He chose to stab him. So they're there to try and cause me harm. All I can remember, like, I got scars all over my forehead from fucking steel-cut toe cap boots, baseball bats. Like, obviously everyone's at like a kind of altercation like that. They are Bowie, but I ain't a Bowie. And the altercation was Christmas Eve, all go and get freshened up, innit? And I cut waiting on the barber shop, bus stop across the road. These boys pull up, and Patrice is the one. He's just eyeballing me. But the youngers, innit? So just let him be. Just like a little smile, don't pay him no mind. They've parked up, gone in the barbers, come back out. I'm still on the bus stop waiting to be picked up. So they've looked across and just nodded their heads. Again, they're youngers to me. They're doing their thing. They're little dealers, and I ain't even about that. So I'm older, so I don't even bother them. Don't even give them no mind. So then when he sees me in the club, he said, "What you staying at?" So I just laugh rough, go away, pulls out a knife, just the little one. So everyone says to me, like you say, when you see him, oh, you're about to fight him, why you jump on his head? Why you do this? Why you do that? At the same time, like, I'm a savage with fighting, but that ain't fighting. I can't stamp on no man's head. I ain't gonna go kill somebody and do nothing like that. I should have for pulling out a knife. He's pulled out. He's gonna use it. But like you said, I'm still here. I'm trying to do something, but like I'm struggling. My kids
that's
see
the
it now.
thing. You're here, bro. You're here you're here to the story. You're here to be the father to your children. Or I say father, to be a dad to your children. So, mate, it's an unfortunate situation. But I'm glad that you're here to be able to tell the story, because again, it could have gone a completely different way. Cher, what you saying? I know you unmuted yourself, so I didn't mean to cut you there. Apologies, Cher.
That's all right. Yeah, this is such a deep topic to me and close to my heart, because I lost my friend to knife crime, so it's something that really, is deep to me. And I do feel like this is the type of things that do need to be discussed, addressed, action taken when it comes to the community, because knife crime happens so much and a lot of people just turn a blind eye to it, or, the black man is looked, like you said, like Ashley was saying, the black man is not looked at as the victim. Even though he's the victim, he's looked at like he's not the victim, which is really a big problem. And, that can mess with people mentally. So I just think it's really important to you know, for us to take care of each other and to look after ourselves more than anything, because, you know, a lot of people go through so much, especially, you know, within deprived areas, within the Black community. You know, a lot of stuff happens and a lot of stuff is swept under the carpet. So I just think, you know, it's important for people to just be able to speak about how they're feeling, address it, and for action to be taken, because, you know, this is a big thing we need to address, and it's not a joke. This thing is happening every single day in London. So, yeah, and other places as well. So I just feel like, yeah, it is a thing that needs to be addressed, because a lot of people suffer mentally, and yeah.
Yeah, this is the thing. It's like nobody. These you know, unfortunate circumstances happen, and nobody in the long term actually looks at what it's done or how it's made a person feel, and then that person then has to suffer or feels like they have to suffer alone. Like, Milt, this is for you, like from me to you, innit? I've told you so many times, like I've begged you and begged you to come see me. I'll meet you. I'll come and talk to you. And knowing you for so long, I'm not trying to say that I understand how you're feeling or what you've been through, because I never will. I haven't been stabbed. Well, I have. I was stabbed in the shoulder one time, but it was mad. It was an accident. But the effects that things, the effect that it's had on you, I'm never going to understand that. But what I will say to you is there are people out there who will listen to you. There are people out there that you can reach out to. Like, even if it's a thing, like when Ashley comes, if you want to come and talk to Ashley, because like for me,
bro, you can shout me, bro. I'll DM you anyway. What's not?
I even thought to myself, maybe it's because I'm a woman, and I'm always going to give you that empathy, and maybe sometimes it's not empathy, the full empathy that you need, because I know you personally. Do you get me? So this is like this podcast. When it first came about, it started from like it was a chat, in it was like a post that I posted and whatever. But the overall and end result is, if we're not professionals. Yes, some of us work in certain sectors and stuff. We're not professionals, but we have got knowledge, experience, and it's real. We're real people, and we want people to come and talk to us. We want people to open up. We want to try and help people in any way that we can, because there's not enough support out there. You're there in your situation, feeling the way that you are, and you don't feel that there's, even though you've got a family that loves you and you've got all those things in place, it's not the correct thing for you to help you heal. Do you get me? I really feel that you need to sit down, you need to go through your story, because everyone's got a story. Life's a journey, innit? You need to go through your story, take it right back. You need to strip yourself right down there in order to come back and find a solution to how you're feeling. And so I'm just saying to you, like, serious Milk, speak to Ashley, speak to him, because he gets on my nerves, but he's a good guy. You get me? He will give you that guidance. He will give you that.
No, it is, fam. You know, you just need to do. You know, not even need to do anything. You know what it is? Man needs to clock. Yeah. No matter how low you go, no matter how broken you feel, you can still be who you are. You can still get back. You can still be stronger. You can still get back to the top. Don't ever get twisted. You just need to remember that you're you, fam, and you're you for you first. You get me?
That's the thing, yeah. Remember who you are. Literally, because like I tried to just ride through it. The diagnosis and everything. You got depression, you got anxiety, you got PTSD. Like, I don't even know what that is. I ain't got it. Don't live here. All of a sudden, it comes knocking at the door. And then becomes very real. So then, what do?
Don't run.
Can't replace it, can't repair it. No, don't run. I'm just living life. But I don't remember who I was prior to all that. My head is so gone. I look at photos, like, he was happy there. What was he doing? You know, like, when you just, like, write diaries, what you've ate today, what you've done, gut health, this and the other. I've taken so many steps. I took a walk. I went and meditated. Can't remember what I done. Like, I remember what I done when I was, like, 3, 5, 6. But the period from then, before the event, I can't remember. Like, what was I happy for? What was making me happy in life? I was happy, but can't pinpoint it. Otherwise, I'll go back to them steps. Start at the beginning, but there's nothing.
Don't worry, man. Don't worry. You know what? I'm glad that you came on today, bro. I'm glad that you spoke about it. Because, bro, trust me, man, there's so many of us that's been there, fam. There's so many of us that's been there. Some people are still on to transition back to themselves, but you don't have to do it alone. Do you get what I'm saying? And when we do it together, fam, we will, bro. I'm gonna shout you anyway, fam. Do you get what I'm saying? Doing it alone is what makes it difficult, fam. Because when you think you're alone and you think that there's no one else that's gone through this, and there's no one else that, like, because you know, like, sometimes you see a man and he seems like he's got everything perfect, bro. And you never know that he was there, he was here, bro. And he was only here maybe 2 years ago, 6 months ago. You get what I'm saying? You will never know that. You get what I'm saying? Because man don't talk about that. Man don't share that part of the journey of their story. I'm glad that you shared that. You get what I'm saying?
That's me. I've come to a point in my life. I've got no humility. I just tell it how it is. I'm a living wreck. It shows on me day to day. I'm a nice guy. Day to day, it's just I keep it short, sweet, everything. I'm nice as pie anyway. But when I get home, it's all the loved ones, same as everyone. When you're around your loved ones, they get a backlash. Why? Because they'll take it. But certain people only take it for so long.
But
not that it's warranted,
when you
granted,
don't
anything.
acknowledge it, you can't change it. See, once you acknowledge it, then you can change
It's been
it.
acknowledged for time. But that's what I mean. When there's no reciprocation, like, I tried to go to therapy and stuff. I wouldn't take medication. That's not me. I should stop smoking because that wasn't me. But I do it now. Like, I started doing it because I was training. I have one hit in the night, and she'd make nice food. So I wouldn't be munching out on biscuits and all that kind of nonsense. I'd be eating good food, put on good weight. That was nice. I was 16 stone, heaviest I've ever been, looking good. And then all of a sudden, it's just like, you get stressed, I need to have a spliff. I get stressed, I need to have another one. And all of a sudden, I've lost my appetite. I've lost all kinds of everything. My brother said to me earlier, just cut it out. He's like, what have I got to live for then? We'll just go to work, come home and sit down. Fuck that.
Let me run the message quickly. I'm going to go over to Milan in a second. So DJ Empress says, with professionals, you don't have to mix with them in everyday life. We need real people who can try have empathy, patience and trust. Also says, being open in this group shows the strength you have to still be here and share it. So Milton, that was to you from DJ Empress. But the reason I'm going to go to Milan, right? Milton, when you said I'm a nice guy, Milan gave the biggest smile to you. So I'm putting her on the spot now. Milan. Yeah. So she's one who's like covering her face.
With this thing. You have to go like to look at all.
Exactly. Yeah. So Milan, what you say?
Black guys don't cheat, innit?
Yeah.
No, don't.
Well, I'm glad that we can, with this, you know, obviously very sensitive topic, I'm glad that everyone can still smile at this moment in time, all right? But Milton, Claire, you've got a fan, okay? So her name's Milan. I'm not sure on your screen where you can see her, but she's to my left, might be to your right. So yeah. Oh, by the way, also shares mine, okay? So your hands off, right? But you can have Milan. You take her.
I'm celibate right now.
Imagine you can have Milan. This is not a dating show. Guys, honestly, it's hot in here. Anyway, no, I was going to say, again, like, this is a close topic to my personal life as well. My son's dad was stabbed, I think he was, I want to say 18. Obviously now he's 28. Yeah, 28. So this happened 10 years ago. And it is still affecting him to this day. And, you know, he tried to go to like therapy. He didn't want to talk about it. And I get it. When you've been through like a traumatic experience, you don't want to talk about it. Do you know what I mean? Like why do you like want to relive it? But at one point you're going to have to help yourself get like over it. But that he just can't see that at the moment. And, you know, he's got his own shit going on. But then what I wanted to say to you was the fact that you're having these thoughts, but you're still here now. You're on Instagram or whatever this is, talking about it. You're already strong, but you just don't know it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're already a strong guy. You just don't know it because you're just like, oh, well, you know, I think it's like a Groundhog Day. And I get that because, again, my bay father, although he's 28, his mentality is of an 18-year-old because he's still in it. He hasn't got out of it. In the world he's grown up, as in, you know, he's had birthdays and he's got older, but in his mind he's still like 18. And that's something that I've tried to explain to him, but, you know, I'm not a professional and he doesn't listen to me, but I can see it. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like where you said you don't remember the period in your life before when you was happy, it's not that you don't like remember. Back then you was carefree. You didn't have a care in the world. You was just going on about your life, and maybe the smallest things would make you laugh, like someone tripped over and you laugh about it. Do you know what I mean? But where this has happened and it's been like a traumatic experience in your life,
but it was because it was traumatic to me.
Now revolving and it's making your life.
I'd seen my friends commit suicide, like their bodies. You know, some of us have unfortunately seen things like that. I'd seen things like that.
I know.
I've seen friends that would been stabbed and holding their stomach in and stuff like that. But when it happens to you, it's different.
Of course.
And like you say, when you're saying about him doesn't want to talk to anybody because he doesn't want to relive it. Like, I disagree. I got no shame in talking about it because I relive it every day myself. Prior to this cheating episode, I used to think about this boy who stabbed me up until I found out she was cheating on me. And that hurt me more. That cut me deeper than that. And I haven't thought about him since, apart from talking about this. So I'm over that. I still want to hurt him. The only reason I didn't is because my brother had his first child. So I thought if I'd done anything, there'd be retaliation, just go back and forth. That's the kind of people they are. And my family ain't. We ain't about it. We're good people. But
do you think
it does help to talk about it? You relive it every day, like jump in the showers. It's only minor and little, but just.
Can I oh my god.
But every day when I see this, you go to the toilet, you see it, you wash it, you touch it, it's a flashback for me. But now it's no more. It's not occurrent. But I've got another thing now. So that's still there in the back of my head. It's like an anchor. But now I've got something at the front, another anchor pulling it down. And then with my daughters, I got 2 daughters, they're 3 and 4. One out of them, it's pulling the side, got this, that, and the other. My head's fucked. And there's a little vortex, fucking hurricane going on. It's all madness. I'm screaming for help, and then I don't want help.
Can I ask you a question, Mel?
No.
I'm going to ask you anyway, okay? So do you think because of that traumatic event in your life that happened, do you think that event has set the tone for any pain that you felt afterwards?
No, because I have no closure.
Okay.
Do you know the mad thing? I've seen Patrice multiple times. The last time we seen him, he was, I don't know, it was in St. David's too. He was with his girlfriend. She's pregnant, due a baby. And Vic was with me at the time, and she turned around and she said, "Don't start nothing." I said, "I'm smart enough to do that." I said, "It's cameras." I said, "But trust me, I'll have him." And she said, "Don't be silly. They're expecting a baby." I said, "Oh, do you mean?" She said, "I seen on his Instagram." No, that's my partner following someone who stabbed me unaware. I'm in and out. Shit, you know I haven't been in love with her for years. But it's the whole family unit. I got kids with her now. I won't cheat, I won't do this, I won't do that. I'm a grown man, the new chapter. She chose to forgive before we had kids now. But obviously, having kids and seeing the kind of father that I am, she grew up without a dad, whatever kind of going on. She was posting it and everything, and that's not throwing nothing. That's not throwing shade on her. I done all the help that I could for her, more so than looking after myself. And now she's found herself and she's on her own. She's good. She's got a shop. She's got a car. She's got the money. She's got the income. She's got the kids. She's got a boyfriend, fiance now. They're engaged.
And this is the biggest reason why you have to listen. I always say, see me, I'll put myself before my own child. And do you know why? Because if I'm not performing at my best, or if I'm not being the best version of myself, I can't take care of her. I can't give her everything that she needs. This is why you need to now put yourself first. Fuck everyone else. Don't think about nobody else. You are first and foremost and paramount. Do you get me?
Yeah, the only reason I get upset with the kids is because I'm too strict. There's nothing wrong with that. If I look back here, like we were talking about, like my grandmother, your grandmother, Mrs. Williams, them kind of people, they were good people, strict women, like done it all on their own. But then I had Nigerian friends and met their parents and grandparents and thought, rah, I thought I had it bad. Like you got a next level. So I don't even know where I was going with that. The weeds kicked in.
It's cool. Speaking it, as long as you're speaking, that's all that matters.
Nah, but yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean, disciplining the kids. Like, I'm taking that kind of approach, that like Nigerian thing. Like, no nonsense. Like, I'm telling you once, the next time I'm telling you, I'm shouting to make you jump out your skin. Never discipline my kids with, like, hands and nothing. Never touch them. Like my dad said, the only time you lay your hand on your kid is if they're about to cross the road and they're going to cause themselves harm. Like, you drag them back and smack them hard enough and let them know that car would have hit them harder. But other than that, you would never lay your hands on your kids. But I find that I'm shouting at my kids all the time. And I know that ain't thing. So when they leave, then I'm just disappointed in myself. They've had a good time with taking them out, done this, that, and the other. But it's like, it's not necessary. They're going to grow up and know. Like you said, the kids feel that vibe and the energy. You work in a nursery, you see it day to day. My Sophia, she's in the matrix. She's on it. But
I like how Milton said,
I'm screaming out, help, I need to change.
Milton said, I'm going to do it the Nigerian way, you know. He said, I'm doing it the Nigerian way with my kids. You know, that's some serious way, right? You know, I was going to touch upon, though, what Cher and Milan was saying about knife crime. I think sometimes people forget how many people are affected by an incident. Like, if you think about it, I saw a video the other day, a couple months ago. It was about 6 kids, I think it was. I think it was somewhere in East London, right? And I think that it's like a commotion, and then one kid stabs the other kid. And all you see the guy is, he just, 1 minute he stood, and next minute he just falls to the floor. And I think he died as well. Now you think to yourself, it's not just that one kid who's stabbed who's affected. It's the 5 other people who are around there who've witnessed that, first of all, right?
So it's the person that stabbed them that's affected too.
Wait, exactly. So the person who's committed the crime, the person who's the victim of the crime, the people who've had to witness the crime, because again, someone else is in a car recording this, they're recording something. So they've got, you know, they've witnessed that. People who are part of the group of people, they've witnessed that. The person who's died, they've got a whole family that are going to be affected by this as well, isn't it? It's not just like, so it could be one senseless idiot doing a senseless crime, but there's so many people that are affected by it. Imagine if someone in your family...
Yeah, how senseless this is. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean...
But after I got stabbed, I got put in a riot van for an hour and a half because the ambulance wasn't available. It was some kind of night, so they had like metal detectors, they had police presence and everything. I asked the police to take me. Apparently, if you request police to take you, they're supposed to make you aware there's no suspension, the same as required in the ambulance. So if anything happened on the way, they wouldn't be liable, but they wouldn't take me. I lost feeling in my right leg and everything. But during this time, obviously, Patrice had gone home. He got let out of the nightclub, not even like given to these police who were all police presence there. The bouncers had let him go on free. I received a phone call in the back of this riot van from my cousin's brother. I won't even call him my cousin, Terrence Ahmed. And he's like, the boy who stabbed me is his little runner. So he phoned me and he said, he's deeply sorry, he's crying. They got money for you. I'm bleeding out in the back of a riot van. So there's loads of senseless acts.
Definitely. DJ Empress says, the government said that black people commit more crime because their fathers are not in their lives. That's from the Evening Standard. So I'll say it again. The government said that black people commit more crime because their fathers are not in their lives.
Oh, that's always been.
What do you say to that?
It's not a completely false statement. Obviously, that's bullshit, but it's not a completely false statement. There is some type of truth to it, whether people want to admit it or not.
Well, check this out, Ash. Right? Check this. If you think about it, right? If you have, so say my dad's black and my mum's white. Yeah. So people say I'm mixed race. Yeah. if I get stopped by police, what do you think they're going to call me? How do you think they're going to describe me?
You're
I
black.
see what?
Let me just say something. Say something. There's no mixed race. How can humans procreate with any other race? Well, one race. You're not learning nothing from Bob Marley yet. Everybody want to be a redskin now.
No, I won't go that far. No, team dark skin. Okay,
You need to get
just so you know. No chance. No, black of the berry, sweet of the juice, bro. Black of the berry, sweet of the juice. But yeah, as I was saying, right. So if my mother's white and my dad's black, how do I get described? IC3, yeah, which is the code for black male. So let me get this straight. If I'm half black in this scenario and I'm half white, if I commit a crime, why is it that in this incident it's a black person's committed the crime? So if you're going to say that it's all black people doing it, well, that's not really accurate then, because I'm just as much black as I am white. But yeah, if I commit a crime, I'm described as
I never got called a white bastard, a white cunt, a white anything.
Anything, ever.
Never, ever.
There we go. So again,
maybe they say my teeth were white.
Exactly. So it's like a false narrative, isn't it? It's a very much a false narrative.
Yeah, but mixed race people are considered to be black anyway.
Yeah, but as I said,
in the eyes of anybody white, you're not gonna, except for probably their parents, right? Except for their white parent. That's the only person that's gonna see them as mixed. Even their grandparent ain't gonna see them as mixed. None of their aunties and uncles ain't gonna see them as mixed, bro. Only their white parent, and that's it, bro. Everyone else is gonna look at them and say that's black, bro. Like that's just how it goes, man.
And we're lucky.
But however, though, when it comes to like doing crime reports, so if I'm half black and if I'm 50% black and I'm 50% white, how are you gonna say to me, it's a black man who committed a crime?
Alright, look, you can't be 50. I'm not gonna lie, you can't be 50
because the black gene is dominant.
Yeah, you can't be half white. You can only be half black, bro. You can't be half white. Just like they're not. You can't.
You don't dilute water.
Yeah, you can't see the half white, bro. You can just see the black has. You get what I'm saying? Like he's no longer white. He's not white. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it's like the water, for instance. As soon as you pour juice in there, no matter how much juice you pour in that water, it's not water once you pour juice in there, bro. Even a little bit of juice, pour a little bit of juice. It don't matter. It's watery now. It's not water no more, bro. Do you get me? It's watery. That's the most you're gonna get. You get me? Like it's never gonna be water again. You get me?
Yeah. Especially when it comes to the police and job interviews. You're black in their eyes. Black.
They don't give a shit. From the time they can see little shade of brown, you're black. Straight up and down.
You diluted the water.
You know, same time. I used to train with this one boy that came over from Botswana. He joined Duke University. He's from Botswana. He was lighter than me, looked like an albino. Met both his parents. They were blacker than your mum. Shit. Black as fuck. Like. They look like Akon. They were black.
Black.
But like, I don't know, that's like some kind of throwback kind of thing from slavery or something. Unless he was generally adopted or something, they just didn't have the heart to tell him.
It's because black women can make any kind of child, man. That's
no, I seen them, the white looking, but they got the black features. That's what I'm saying. That's why everything reverts to black.
You get me? Black women got the E gene. They can just procreate any color. You get me? It's like that still. You say where's Sticky?
No, Sticky. Just beer.
No, I'm there. Don't worry, I'm here. Don't worry.
He's here in spirit.
Exactly, I'm here. Don't worry, I'm here.
Hey, Sticky trying to move like he's Ross Clark, some type of Holy Ghost right now.
No, it is. I'm trying to FaceTime shit. That's why, trying to fuck it up for tonight.
You need to stop this now.
Oh God.
Basically, Milton, you're not in the know yet.
Stop claiming me.
He wants you.
Don't claim me.
He's claiming shit.
Though, man. Give him a chance.
Don't claim me.
Give him a chance.
Back me up.
Don't worry though. Don't worry, because don't forget, right? Milton right now. Milton's got Milan right now. I saw the way Milan was like, oh hello, and Milton pulled up his shirt, showing his abs. Milan was all up in there, boy. I was like, raw.
Skinny boy with abs is like fat chicks with tits.
Yeah.
Can happen.
I don't know still.
They're next together. They're next to each other on my screen as well. It's a good look though. Still, I'm not gonna lie. But
Yeah, it's cute. It's cute.
golden, blended in.
Have you ever seen Milan so quiet before? Raw.
I light skin love. This is light skin love.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, honestly,
You got some great little hats and that. Light skin
I'm so
love.
dead. But no, on a serious note, I think, I'm so glad that you actually jumped on the lives tonight. I think, people need to hear people's stories because it raises more awareness. It's not a lot of people are not even aware, or they don't hear firsthand what's actually going on in the world and how traumatic events do affect us mentally. And it does play a big part in our mental health journey. So I just want to shout you out for that, Millie.
Thanks very much, my brother. We appreciate your presence, man.
Thank you for
very
sharing.
much,
Thank you for welcoming me. Thank you.
When I message you, yeah, answer my messages, and when I tell you to come and see me, Milton. Don't try and hide. I will find you. I'm gonna bring the crew with me. We're all gonna come. We're gonna be banging at you, going, yo, open this up.
Immigration? Who? He doesn't live here. Go away.
Oh, it's mad love, man. It's mad love.
Thanks, guys.
That's okay. Love always.
But you're always welcome, bro. Don't ever. You're always welcome, man. You got the Zoom code now. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Truuu Talk podcast. This is episode 16, and tonight we were talking about fashion, how mental health issues in a parent can impact their children, and comfortability levels in relationship and friendship. Now, as always, we are joined by the Truuu Talk First Lady, Miss Chidi Bang Bang. A man who needs no introduction, Mr. Truuu Talk himself, Mr. Ashley. Our very own banter queen, Miss Milan. Our favourite lady from the small island, Miss Cher. And of course, myself, DJ Sticky Fingers. So as I said, we're talking about fashion, mental health issues in a parent, and comfortability levels in relationships and friendships.